Greetings, humanity, and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I am Jim, I use he/him pronouns, and tonight we are going to play a one-shot of InSpectres, a tragically comic game of paranormal investigation. It has been some time since I have run this game on this channel. I've run it on a few other channels, but funny thing, it was about 3 years ago, as of like the end of this month, that I started running RPGs on this channel, and the game I started with was InSpectres. And so I just figured, it's about time. It's an anniversary, but I'd got to run it on my channel again. So very pleased to have this up. And I think actually a couple of the people who are in that game are watching right now. So hello, hi. Thank you all very much for coming. I do appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and go around and say hello to our investigators, see who they are, who our players are, who they're playing, and we will start with Celeste. Hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm Celeste. I use they or he pronouns. I'll be playing Ocean Parks, uses she or they pronouns, and she's a long-term customer service worker who thought this was going to be just another job, and it turns out this is so much more than just another job.
Oh yes, definitely. Most definitely. And now let us head over to Lynn. Hello.
Hey, I'm Lynn, flying Cirrus, she, her, and I am playing Evie, she, her, a 90-year-old college student, tech gremlin, maybe with an unhealthy obsession with cryptids.
Good, excellent. And now let us head over to Sprinkle. Hello.
Hi, I'm Sprinkle. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Zane, who uses she, they pronouns. And Zane is a former lawyer who was tired of the monotony of being a lawyer. One time had a case with a client that sparked the interest of paranormal activity.
Excellent. I love that concept. Very cool. And now finally, let us head over to Gregory. Hello.
Hi, I'm Gregory Avery Weir. I use they pronouns, and I'll be playing Check. And she has worked as a production assistant, as a personal assistant, as a general gopher, and this job really isn't much different from any of the previous ones she's had. She is not, in fact, afraid of any ghosts.
That is good. That is helpful in this line of work in which you shall find yourself. Awesome. So, as a reminder, like we do with the other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, hold up a card or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it, or we'll put it behind a veil. So it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know that we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that, again, with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. And so if any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss other things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. Now let's see. Also, as a reminder, put a few content warnings up here. This game has the potential for discussions of death, forensic details, ghostly activity, poltergeist, possession, bodily harm, drowning, asphyxiation, and possibly character versus character conflict, depending on how things go. So if you want to see that, I've just put the command in there. That is !INSCW, InSpectres CW, for anyone who wants to call that up at any time. It'll be on the rotation of the thing as it goes. And if we stumble across any other things we need to have warned about, I'll add that to the list as we continue. Let's see. Also, do remember that we have an open door policy, which means any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It's just a game, and mental health is always more important. So, let's get into this. So, we have chosen as our as our city to start this in, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Now, funny story. I was born in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, as it happens. So I've never actually started a game where I knew the city. Now, keep in mind, I've not been there for about 20 years, so we're still going to largely do the Vancouver method on this thing, as there a lot has changed. I snuck back there a few years back, and I saw that there were many, many more buildings and many more places, and I had no idea where I was for a little while. So it's one of those things you sort of go back and you can't go home again. It's just one of those things where we will, this game pretty much entirely is make it up as you go along, and so that's we're going to continue to do that. So, how does this game start? This game starts by setting up our franchise. In so doing, let me go ahead and bring us over to the screen. That is whereupon we have the franchise stuff set up. I'm going to go ahead and transition over to that. So basically, we have to decide some things. I'm going to ask you some questions for you folks to kind of bat around and see sort of what you think. You're going to have 10 franchise dice, but you don't necessarily have to connect that to mechanically what they say is 10 franchise dice in the book. You can be whatever size you want the thing to be. And so that actually does lead to the first question here. As you're setting this up, how big do you think is your InSpectres franchise? And how long do you think you've been in operation?
Do we like the idea of having, would if it's larger than just the four of us, would we be in charge of it and we'd have folks that work for us, or would it be more of a flat structure? I don't think that's just a question for Jim.
I can't answer these questions. This is for you entirely to answer. You folks.
I think my character isn't a suit. I don't know that. I think that maybe only Zane is a suit. So I think something relatively equal would probably suit my tone, but I'd also be perfectly happy to be the person who's just cashing a paycheck and grumbles about her coworkers.
Yeah, I think us all being on the same level is a good idea. Because Zane, had the life of a lawyer, so I was just trying to chill a little bit.
Maybe we've got like folks in the office that like are the people who organize the equipment and answer the phones and so on, and we're the
Boots on the
team that
ground.
goes out and does stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cool. I like that. About how long do you think your franchise has been operating here at the beach?
I feel like we're fairly new. Perhaps not new, but like less than 10 years.
Like we've got our stride. We're not like struggling. We've, got a good payment schedule on our business loans.
Yeah, I'm like successful enough that you can get like summer internship or a summer job with this thing, and it's not like the most unreliable thing. It's like we'll pay you. It's not we'll give you a paycheck. We won't just here's your paycheck in cash. Don't do that.
You've got like an arrangement set up with like or Georgetown Technical College that they send interns to you every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interns like that.
In that case, Czech definitely leaves prominent union literature sitting around in the break room.
Yeah. The powers, I'm going to say, at least fictionally, I don't know. I haven't been there in a while. But my assumption is that a lot of the powers that be in the city don't necessarily like unions that much, so it's one of those things where you kind of sometimes sort of put it under, sort of keep it under the what is the word I'm looking
Radar.
for? Radar. There we go. God, words fall out of head. Yay. Me, I'm English good.
The endless cycle of it, of like the pamphlets being put in like the recycle and then just being put back onto the table.
Nice.
Anytime they go missing, they start to show up in more places. So,
They multiply. Very cool. So let's see. So it's a fairly so this sort of startup happened. So happened as part of the InSpectres franchise within the last decade. So now we kind of would like to know where your franchise is located. Now, the beach. Funny thing is about the way the beach was built, it had 2 roads, by and large. One, it has Ocean Boulevard and Kings, the main avenue behind that. And then they started building more. They started sprawling outward, sprawling westward, northwestward, until it eventually met with Conway. And so there's this web of these neighborhoods that they just sort of dropped in over the last several decades. Strange prefabricated neighborhoods in some cases, as they continued to go further out into the countryside. So I guess the question is, so where roughly do you think you want to be located? Do you want to be like near the beach? Do you want to be more into the sprawl? Do you want to be closer to, if you want to be closer to a city, then you might want to be closer to Conway, which is where the colleges are. What do you think? What sort of area do you want to be in?
I'm getting this vision of like what used to be a Walgreens on a corner that we converted.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah,
Like
it still has like the faded thing where like the sun has like bleached the paint and you still see sort of
Oh, yeah.
Walgreens.
the closest beach-like thing is like the aquarium supply store in the strip mall next door.
Mhm.
I love it. So yeah, you're like perhaps, I'm imagining you're like a little bit back from Restaurant Row. So it's a row with a bunch of restaurants on it, overpriced seafood restaurants on it, and there are also strip malls out there, where there are. So that's kind of that's a little, sort of on the north end of town, but not quite North Myrtle Beach. Does that sound good? As to sort of roughly where you might be? It's not really going to matter too much when we get into it, but it's just part for the aesthetic of the thing. And then you'll be fairly close, at least to you can get to downtown pretty quickly. Well, depending on what time of year it is. But that's good. Okay. So about how many people do you have working under you? You've just got like, I know we talked about the possibility of interns. We talked about people answering the phone. How many employees roughly do you think there are at this place?
Like maybe we're half. Like there's 4 or 5 other people.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as names happen, I shall endeavor to write them down. But yeah, you say you've got like 4 or 5 other people who just sort of do a lot of the office-related stuff, I would guess. Scheduling and what have you.
Mhm.
Maybe like, are like they all interns, or like 2 of them interns, or what do you think?
Oh.
We've probably there's probably like an office manager at least that's like handles facilities stuff. That would be a career person.
Cool.
Like a receptionist or something that answers the phones. talks with customers.
Excellent. Cool. Is the office manager also the receptionist, or are those two separate individuals?
Probably separate. There's probably a back of house person that I'm kind of imagining that we've got like a real tiny retail, the public part is like a cell phone store.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah.
And then there's a back room that's got the van we use, the van we try not to use, and then just someone organizes all our weird occult tomes that we reference and
order stuff.
Gotta make sure.
Vendors.
Make sure you get the good van.
Yeah.
Claim that good van first.
Excellent. I love it. Okay. And let's see. Let me make sure I've got the thing open. There we go. So we kind of already talked about what the place looks like, so we're good there. Let me go. Actually, I'm skipping down. There we go. So we're going to want to figure out, do you folks, who is in charge? Or do we just not know?
So the cultural touchstone I've got for my character is Radar O'Reilly. I feel like my character is not in charge, but also seems to always know what the mission is before the person actually is in charge. Thinking of the rules in the book, I'm more CFO.
Yeah, and this is sort of where we can start thinking about what if you want titles, in particular for the for your different positions, then you can lob those at me and I'll add them to the overlay. So kind of you can be thinking about that for a moment. I'm going to ask about that again in a second as far as titles and what have you goes. But it sounds like it's mostly just sort of collectively do stuff, and there's not really anyone making decisions for the franchise itself. Things just sort of happen. And the office manager maybe does the books, and that's it.
Yes. I feel like it probably, since this is there's a larger InSpectres corporation, we're just one franchise, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It probably makes sense for Zane to be the person who, at least on the books, is in charge, since she's got
a law degree.
Yeah, they'd respect them more than us working schlubs.
Sure.
I think if anything, Ocean's probably assistant manager, because she's definitely got a little bit of managerial experience, but nothing major. And she doesn't really want that level of responsibility.
Yeah, I think Evie is a step above the intern level. She came in intern the previous summer, and she came back, and now she's actually gets money for it.
Nice. Very cool. Awesome. And let's see. How did this and this is buying into a franchise. It's pretty much you own it. You just you've got the sort of license for the rights of the of the national chain. And the InSpectres as a company, as a national company, does not have a lot in the way of standards. Basically, they did horribly in the .com boom. There were sort of many, because they were a startup out in California, and they had issues that happened around that time. They tried to do an app recently. They still keep trying to get it to launch this thing where InSpectres becomes more like Uber, but they haven't managed to get it off the ground. And so they're still kind of relying on... They've gotten to the point they can at least make their places look kind of like... The outer offices look like cell phone places. At this point, apparently.
They got to the point where it's at least looks somewhat consistent between all the franchises.
Yeah. But they still haven't quite... They haven't quite gotten there just yet as to making it so that people can just sign up over the app to go and hunt monsters, basically. So let's see. But so how did you do this? Did you have private investors, or did you max out your credit cards? How did we get this thing started?
I don't think I put any money up. I think I'm just cashing a paycheck.
Evie is cashing what? Minimum wage paycheck.
I would say I joined afterwards. That I heard about it and, wanted to not be a lawyer anymore, and do something else. So I'm just walking through the door. This is career number 2.
Does that mean Ocean organized it then?
I think it would be real. There's 2 ways that we could play this. I think they're equally hilarious. Either Ocean was actually the one to start this up and got like a business loan or something, or there was another person who started it up and left it to Ocean and just ditched.
Or got like killed by monsters.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Missing. Not killed by monsters. Officially on the paperwork.
or it looked as though they were killed by monsters, but people keep seeing them every now and then.
Was this was this like a tax dodge or something?
Possibly,
like killed by monster? No, like
nope, it was totally killed by monsters.
Or turned into a vampire, or
that's always a problem. Especially, it's like, can't live somewhere where somewhere like a coastline that easily. If you're a vampire, it's a little harder. That's also a possibility. We can discover that as we go as to exactly what happened to your former partner in this business. I like that. I like that idea where it's just like, whatever funds we have are going to run out at some point. We're not completely sure. And we talked about what it looks like, and as far as like, and it says, what amenities does it feature? I kind of figure, if it's like one of those cell phone places, I'm imagining it's the usual sort of thing where you have someone out there who can just behind a little desk and like stuff on the wall that's maybe some kind of brand-related merchandise. That might be about it, but is there anything you want to especially have that as far as amenities goes?
Maybe we have like one row of like blister packs of like you can get some sage to burn in your house, or like a low purity silver cross to protect yourself, just to tide you over until your appointment comes due.
I love that so much.
Yes.
And it's all like sourced from the same place souvenir shops get stuff, so none of it works.
I can see one of the things being like this satchel that claims to be like a catch-all for just about any supernatural thing that would come your way, and it's like this mixture of like salts and cold iron shavings and a little bit of silver dust.
Excellent. Very cool. So you have these DIY kits that may or may not function depending on how it goes. I love it. I love it. And that actually is very much in the theme of sort of the world of InSpectres. The supernatural, it's one of those things where not absolutely everyone knows that the supernatural exists, but when it comes up, it's really more of an embarrassment than anything else. It's not really that terrifying per se. It's just mostly, it's like, oh, it's gremlin season again. We got to, they're chewing through the power cables. We got to get somebody out to take care of them. So it's that kind of thing. And are you the only InSpectres franchise in the area? Do you have any competitors?
Ooh.
I kind of like for it just being us. Like, I don't know. There's probably one down in Charleston.
Yeah.
Like, but
the one down in Charleston has a lot of money. They're like right next to they're right next to the Virgin Record store. I don't know why I assume that equals money, but somehow in my head, the Virgin Megastore. That's the proper term for the thing. Let's see, and we can talk about this. We're not going to make any tech rolls right this second, But what sort of gear do you imagine you have access to as this comes? And you don't have to list everything right off the bat here, but what sort of stuff do you folks use in your various pursuits of dealing with the supernatural?
It's probably a lot of it's probably Evie's department, right?
Yeah. I think it's probably like repurposed like electronics that have other uses. It's like the EMF thing was like we just took like things and just kind of like they repurposed them for like mostly detection and stuff like that. But it's there's also a lot of, I think Evie has probably gotten into it where it's like it has been jury-rigged enough where it's like it maybe works better. She says it works better.
But it's like a lot of stuff in Altoid tins and like
There's a lot of duct tape attached to a lot of these things.
Are they in those like big blue plastic bins just with cables dripping out?
A lot of those. Yes. They're never closed. They're always like there's always like things like ajar a little bit. There's always like things hanging out of it and like it's a mess. Evie's good at electronics, but it's not good at organizing things at all. It's on her performance reports like clean this.
Nice, I love it. And so my last question. Also, we talked about what you have for transportation. You have a newer van and a not so new van, basically out back, that you use. Does it have the logo on it, or is it just an unmarked van, or is it a van from some other business?
I think the good van has the logo very clearly, and the old van is like all sun faded and has things rust near the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So don't. It's like specific instructions for the passenger seat. Don't put your weight in front of the seat. It'll give way. So just like.
Kind of hover.
It's like
a squat over the seat.
It's like the seat. What was it? The little thing that you put to like for muddy feet. It's covering a hole.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like don't put pressure on it. There's not metal underneath that thing. It's rusted through a little bit.
Yeah. Just a floor mat. That's all you got.
That's not a problem with a good van. Good van.
Yeah,
No, good van's good.
Fine. Good van's
Good van has not been eaten by the sea salt yet.
No, just give it time. All right, and
yeah, that's what happens to the good van. Turns into the bad van.
And the final question here is: do you have like a specialty in particular, or is it more general monster hunting? So specialties would be like ghosts, vampires, demons, cryptozoology, that kind of deal.
What if it's a specialty that never comes up? Like, we specialize in mer people, but like they're a strictly Pacific Ocean thing, and so we only get like we've done it once, but we were really good at it.
Also, the equipment can't get wet. Don't put the equipment near water, please.
You had one visiting mer person, and it was, and they were lost and they needed directions, quite possibly. It's hard to know. No, that's excellent. All right, cool. So now we're going to now we can distribute our franchise dice. Let me go ahead and let me pull up the thing here. So many tabs. Okay. So as we're sort of looking through this, what we can do is you're going to have 10 dice that you can put on these different things that you see before you. Now, I shall explain what each of the things are. So you have the library card, which if you use this is a common pool of dice you're going to have to augment your rolls, if you choose to use them. The library card contributes to your academics rolls. you have the gym card, which contributes to your athletics rolls. You have the credit card, which contributes to your technology rolls. You don't have any cards that inherently contribute to contact rolls. That you got to do on your own, by and large. But you do also have the bank deposit slip up here, which you can put some of your dice in the bank if you want, and those dice can be used whenever for various things. But certain things happen with the bank dice whenever you roll them. Anytime in Roll20 you make a roll and you declare you're using bank dice, I'm going to consider the last dice that we see in that roll to be the bank dice. And so whatever number comes up on the bank die will kind of sort of determine what that means, what happens. The bankroll chart, by the way, if you want to look at it, is under the handouts if you want to kind of see what sort of things happen. And it's mostly just how much money you have in the bank can change depending on what happens with the bank dice. And so, where do you want to put your resources? These kind of represent what you have available to you as resources for the franchise.
We've got this mysterious lost founder. Does that mean we have a lot of money in the bank or very little money in the bank? We're good as long as the money keeps up. Is the money out? Or...
Honestly, I think it's funnier if we're almost out of money.
Yeah. Yes.
So we've got 10 total 4 ways. So is that like 1 or 2 dice in the bank?
Yeah.
2 at most, I think.
Is anyone athletic? I'm not athletic. My character is fine, but...
Fine. Yeah, acceptable is...
So, I guess... So do we want a lot of gym dice so that we can make up for that? Or do we want very few so that
that might be a
use
good
all
idea.
our foot chases?
We want to find that. We want to catch whatever it is.
True.
So, I'm just putting stuff...
Yeah.
We can
Sure.
move this
Let's do it.
later. So we've got 6 left. We could do 3 for gym, library.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Credit card? Is that right? Does that all work out? Does that look right?
That looks right.
Do
Yeah.
you want to shuffle any of those around?
I think that's a good even.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's it.
Okay. All right. We good? All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So you've got a decent amount of evenly distributed resources here, and a little bit of money in the bank. Just a wee bit. Excellent. Okay. So that means we're almost ready to get going. Have you folks decided if you want actual official titles or not?
I feel like the titles are like a thing that we only give them out if people very specifically ask for them, and we make them up different each time.
Sure.
We've each got 4 different business cards that we
Yeah.
pull out according to the circumstances.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that's perfect. That's absolutely fine. So it's just whatever your title happens to be at the time. Okay. All right, we can totally do that. All right, we're gonna go ahead then and get into this if we are ready. Unless there's anything else about the franchise we wanted to discuss before we proceed. All right, we're gonna dive in here. Okay, so it is afternoon, roughly. I should mention this. This is important. This is very important as we're setting this whole thing up. there is one other aspect to this game that I must mention, and that is there is the conceit that there is also a reality show going on for this whole thing as it continues. So there are going to be points. This is going to be presented to a certain extent like a reality show. There will be points where you can just sort of cut back and just talk to the camera. You can pretty much do that whenever you like. You can talk to the camera as often as you like. I'm also going to introduce our characters that way. But once per scene, you can also use that as a confessional. And so when I say once per scene, that's among everyone. So each scene can have one confessional in it, if you so desire. The confessional mechanic is basically how you can bend reality into pretzels, if you wish. You can use confessionals to talk about things that are going to happen, and you can hint at them, and then those things are going to happen. You can use them to talk about things that are true currently that you can find to exist. You can actually also use it to. There is a use in the book about assigning a trait to one of your fellow inspectors. That if they choose to roleplay it, then you get an extra franchise token, mission token at the end. That's going to be that again. That's purely voluntarily. That's purely by consent. So that's sort of you should talk about it before you actually assign a trait. But that's just an additional fun thing folks can do if they want, and you can do one of those per game. And then also you can use it to change the past if you need to. Not necessarily what we've seen happen per se, but it's the best use I've ever seen of it. It's sort of in the leverage sense, in the Ocean's 11 sense. I prepared for this. The best usage of that I've ever seen happened in a podcast I was listening to, where they suddenly found, all they had in terms of weapons to bring with them. They didn't do great on their equipment rolls. They had super soakers. That was about it. And they suddenly found themselves surrounded by demons. And one of them called for a confessional. And they went to confessional, and they just said, just to directly address the camera when that happens, they said, thankfully, before we left, we remembered to fill the super soakers with holy water. And then they came back, and they now had weapons that were very effective against the demons. So things like that you can totally use confessionals for. So like I said, that's just a special way of talking to the camera. But we're now going to go around and meet our characters here and sort of see them a little bit in action and sort of see what they're doing. So I'm going to go around and sort of ask what each of you, as though perhaps later a film crew has been is interviewing you. You sort of tell us a little bit about just how your character, why your character got into this business, or how they got into this business, or what they like about it. They've asked you just for a general sort of characterization question, so we're going to go ahead and just go around and ask folks to do that. And I will ask, does anyone wish to go? Who would like to go first?
I'll go.
Okay. And so so what do we see? So what do we see? It's like there's an establishing shot of Czech doing something. What do we see Czech doing?
Yeah, so I think the establishing shot is just like a slow pan over the probably the back area of the franchise, and then like in walks a mid-20s woman. She's got light brown skin. She's got hair braided close to her scalp that like when at the ends it's like kind of asymmetrical curly poofs. She's got big round glasses. She's wearing a short sleeve dark khaki coverall outfit, like work outfit with some patches on it, and Doc Martens. And she's got two sweatbands on her left wrist. She's got pink, yellow, and cyan pansexual stripes. And on her right one, she's got a purple and black sweatband with the Venus symbol, but inside the circle is an A. And she's got like a clipboard kind of clutched in one arm and is carrying a tray of coffee. And she like walks over to a meeting table and like sets 4 very different coffees out on the table. And then when it cuts to like her talking to the camera, she says, "The dress code's not too harsh here." And just kind of looks at the camera for a while.
I love it. All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll give it a shot. So, Ocean has taken the phone from one of the interns who's answered it and is like, "Yes, ma'am, I understand, ma'am. Yes, I promise everything will be just fine. We're going to take care of everything, all of those problems for you. It's not going to be a big deal at all, honey. Don't worry about it. I will make sure that employee is reprimanded for what they said to you. It's not a problem at all. Trust me. Everything will be just fine. There's absolutely no need to go to the media or get any legal action involved. We'll take care of it on our end. I promise. All right? Thank you, sugar." And she puts the phone down and she's like, "Fuck." And then it cuts to the camera. It takes a special kind of sugar to placate some of the more unruly guests. We have guests, not customers. We have guests. And honey, when you've been in the business as long as I have, you know just what to say.
Nice. Excellent. And who wants to go next?
I can go. So Zane is actually sitting down and in a more like kind of comfy egg type chair, because we go to so many different places and we have a van. We bring stuff back that's kind of cool, and we really like, you know, can use in the office. And Zane, honestly, being a lawyer was stressful. So Zane, it's not that Zane doesn't take this job seriously. It's just that Zane, like, just between being a lawyer and starting this position, Zane started painting and just really being able to get in touch with their creative side. So Zane actually does paint sometime in the office and just kind of kicks back. So as the camera is coming, Zane is feet up in the chair, just kind of painting and doodling, and says, this is work. I need to focus on my self. And because when I was a lawyer, it was about, now is the time for me to focus on myself. And that's how I can better help everyone here. And then Zane just goes back to doodling.
Awesome. Excellent. Okay. Evie, you're up.
Yep, you find Evie in the back with all the other electronics, fixing the equipment while also kind of watching some YouTube stuff on the phone. Evie is small Southeast Asian girl with just has a beanie with cat ears, goggles, and just has like disheveled look to her, like bunch of layers over a coat. And when she sees the camera crew, like she does the awful thing of like where she'll make direct eye contact with the camera and then just shut the door. And I think for her interview, she's just being asked, why do you do this? And she just, I want to have intimate relations with a supernatural entity with a good ass.
This is a good answer. Excellent. All right. So it is late afternoon, and you are you haven't had a lot of business today. I think we should probably establish what time of year it is, because that's going to be very important for how things operate in this town. What time of year do we think it is?
Just before tourist season?
Okay, so shortly before... Yeah, the tourist season at the beach runs basically from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Like 2 weeks before Labor Day, we're like, there's no one in town, but everyone is panicking?
Yeah, no, that's
before
good.
Memorial Day, rather?
Yeah. No, perfect. Okay, cool. So, you got a lot of folks are getting ready for different things. They're trying to so you've got a certain amount of motion going on. You've got certain hotels are starting to light up more than they do usually the rest of the year. They're open the rest of the year, but there's not nearly as much business. You have places that usually you only see people starting to hire on new folks showing up, and this generally is when you get the new swaths of interns will sometimes turn up as well. And you're going to let's see. You're going to be greeted. Who is in the outer office when your customer comes in? When your guest comes in. Will anyone be in the outer office when your guest comes in?
Sure, I'll be out there. I probably just got off the phone with another. I want to speak to the manager.
Yeah. And so you've got you've got your receptionist there as well to kind of help sort of guide this person, so they kind of will stand up and they'll sort of see. And this individual looks like an older woman. Who is wearing a very, very broad hat and sort of tank top deal, shorts, and when she comes in, just kind of looking around for a second and sort of the your receptionist comes up. Do you want to see this man? She says, "Yes, I'd like to." And, they kind of they'll sort of point her over to Ocean, and she'll step forward. Do you handle problems here?
Oh yes, sugar. What is it that I can do for you?
Well, I had it's a thing which I think it's probably something, I'm not entirely sure, but it's probably something that's I didn't want to say anything about it for a little while, but then a couple of the business owners out there have seen something. So I work at one of the sort of beach gallery, the shooting gallery that's down just sort of by the sort of carnival places down by the Ripley Museum.
Yes, I'm familiar.
And I was heading out from work when I was heading out from work. We're heading over to the place, and we were getting ready to open it up. Because we've been open the last week or two, as we're getting ready for we're getting ready for the rush. But as I was heading out for the night, okay, you're going to think this is a little strange, probably.
Honey, they don't pay me to judge.
I could have sworn I saw the pavilion. Now, an important note to anyone who has learned anything about this town is that the pavilion was torn down about 15 years ago. That is an amusement park, very large amusement park. That
Check comes out of the back with a pile of papers and hands them to Ocean, and it's just the Wikipedia printout for the pavilion. And she heads back into the back.
And Ocean kind of like looks them over and, all right. Normally our clientele has a tendency to see things as opposed to places, but I mean, it's a little unusual and maybe a little unorthodox, but still sounds like it's in our ballpark.
Well, and it's something I could have swore, it's, I'd like catch it out of the corner of my eye and then I'd look and it wasn't there. And so I don't know what's happening, but a couple of the other business owners apparently have also kind of, over the last couple of weeks, as they're getting set up, kind of imagine that they're seeing it too. So just wanted to come in and see if there's something you could do to kind of look into it. We cannot have an amusement park suddenly popping in when we're trying to when we're that amusement park popping in when we got trying to deal with clients. It's going to unsettle them.
Of course.
It'd be great if it were back, but no, that's not happening anytime soon.
Believe me, I understand completely, and thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. We are going to look into this, I promise you. Do you have a business card or something? I can get back to you with what we find.
Oh yes, yeah, and her. And so she will hand you a business card, and for some reason I went to pull up Irish names, and they're considerably more Irish than I expected them to be. As I attempt in my head to translate this, her name is Nicola Enright. I'm gonna transliterate it. Nicola Enright. And yeah, she is the runs the Beach Shooting Gallery, which is not real guns. It's more the going in and you spray water into a clown's mouth type deal.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Enright, and we will definitely.
Then the balloons blow up, and then people go crazy. I'm sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Thank you so much, Miss Enright. We are definitely going to have a look at this. We'll have a team out there as soon as possible, and we will try to make sure that this is at least resolved before Memorial Day. And
We'd very much appreciate it. We don't need an embarrassment like that happening.
Oh, it's not a problem, sugar.
And she will thank you, and then she will. Do you need anything else from her, or is that?
Check intercepts her with paperwork and stuff, and
yeah.
Are there any dogs on the premises? And...
Well, it's an open field.
So is that a maybe or?
Honey, we can't.
Any wild animals that?
Well, not wild animals,
usually
probably.
frequent
But,
the area?
some people might bring their dogs or cats out when they go ziplining.
There are zip lines on the property.
There are zip lines out there, yeah. There's a zipline company.
Any other industrial machinery that we need to be concerned about?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I'll just check in now. All right, thank you.
She nods. And she heads off. What would you like to do?
Well, I guess it's time for a meeting.
Do we just cut to the meeting table
Yeah, smash.
and check setting out packets of information out in front of each person?
The pavilion. I remember this. They were one of our clients at one of the law firms I used to work at. Very interesting.
Do we think time travel or like spirit of a location with unfinished business or?
It could be a genius loci, but I'm also thinking perhaps it's maybe a pocket dimension.
Did a witch ever put a curse on it?
Could be fairies.
It could be fairies.
Or a lot of ghosts.
Is a roll appropriate here?
Well, what are you trying to do?
I think I maybe research the history. Just like
okay.
I've been putting out these maybe see if I came up with anything interesting in that.
All right. Yeah, sure. So what you're going to want to do is do a skill roll. You're going to be rolling your academics, and we shall see what happens. I think the only details I'm going to include is you'll note in the information that that Nicola filled out for you. But before you roll, I just note that in the information that Nicola filled out for you, she couldn't quite get that. She seemed as though there were certain details that like she didn't remember being in the pavilion, but she wasn't sure. Like some rides maybe were in different places, or maybe we're never there. She wasn't sure, so that was one thing. The other detail that, of course, I'll provide from history is that the company that owned that owned it shut it down. Basically, was kind of the thing that finally, and they'd been made various overtures to shutting it down as a way of sort of trying to get the city council to play ball with them for quite a long time, and then finally they did it. In about, again, like 15-ish years ago, 2006, 2007. So yeah, feel free as you're researching and you're looking things up, go ahead and make your academics roll.
I won't use any library dice yet.
Awesome. Okay, amazing. Okay, so you're going to gain 2 mission tokens, and we're going to say that we're going to start out going for like 10 mission tokens for this, and we might up that as we get further, depending on pacing and timing. So it is amazing. So you have, in your research, you have found something that is that is very important, vital to what is going on here, that is going to help you in your mission. What do you find out?
Boy. I'm stuck on these zip lines. I'll say, I mean, the only obvious thing I see is that if you look at the path of the zip lines, they describe the sort of diagram that matches, Crowley's sigil for perpetual growth or something like that, sort of eternal evolution of the soul, But other than that, I kind of came up empty. It's sort of thelemic in origin.
Well, then I guess we need to know when they started with the zip lines then, don't we? If it coincides with the date of destruction of the pavilion, perhaps there's something there.
I'm going to say that this isn't the company that is currently out there in real life, but that doing zip lines. This is a different company that has opened quite recently. We'll say within the last year, and this is going to be the first summer they were operating.
They don't have a website or anything. I just there's a local news story, but they might just be some dude in a field with some high tension wire. No, low tension. It's got to have slack in it to make the zip lining work. You know, it's an incredibly dangerous, like, practice. Lots of people get really badly hurt on zip lines. And they're very underregulated.
Of course, it could be one of those sites that just absorbs pain over and over again, doesn't create something. Hopefully it's not that. That could seem real bad. Maybe it's a psychic Sasquatch. I don't know.
Not another psychic Sasquatch.
Of course there is.
We just dealt with one in February.
That campground was so surprised.
I'll get the bear mace, just in case.
So what do we think? The ghost equipment, the gremlin equipment. What are you looking at?
I mean, we're definitely gonna have to investigate on site, right?
Yeah. Bring some nets, maybe ladder. Who knows how we're gonna. There's a good way to get up.
Energy bars.
Maybe it's worth talking to the owner of the Zipline place too, just to be sure.
Maybe.
Sounds good. I'll load up the van.
Which one, A or B?
The good van.
Awesome or bad one.
Okay, so now is the time to... The person who said, I will load up the van,
Oh no.
must now make an equipment roll to see if the good van is available. This,
Do we?
and so it's
Okay,
your tech
Krux.
rating is going to be your equipment.
I have a tech of 2, which is not bad. I'm not the tech person. Should I be spending credit card on this, or do we think it's fun that we may end up with a bad van?
Can I do a confessional for this?
Sure, absolutely. Let me,
Oh no.
let's do a confessional.
Evie holds up a pair of keys. I always put the fake keys on the rack. Make sure I have the good one.
All right, I'm just gonna roll.
And then she'll just say, "Those are the keys for the gas station across the street." Don't tell anybody.
Oh no.
Okay, so you're going to have the good van, either way. However, I would like to roll to make sure that everything's okay with it.
Right.
Excellent. So your van is awesome.
It's a 5 on 2 dice.
Yeah, you got... Did you also get a 6?
6 and a 5. I got a 6 and a 5.
That's interesting. Okay.
Excellent.
I think that should have been a 6. The way that it's showing it as 5. So I think I might have copied the macro from the wrong thing.
Yeah, we've got keep lowest.
Yeah, it's got keep lowest and it needs to be keep highest. Okay, I'll fix that. So yeah, so you actually, the van is so awesome right now that it could have possibly additional stuff that's been added onto it. Something brilliant. This van could see into other dimensions if you really wanted it to, although vans don't typically do that. But
Hey, Evie, the van's unlocked.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought this isn't supposed to be locked, right? This is supposed to be like anyone could have done anything in here.
Here, wait.
I don't even recognize some of these crates.
No, I put them there. That's...
Okay.
Yeah, I want to make sure that we have, like, you know, who knows where we're going. I put Wi-Fi in there.
Okay.
And the mini
she
fridge. The
starts-
mini fridge is in there.
She says, "Oh, hey, yeah." Starts loading the mini fridge.
Although you probably want to hold on to it because it's not bolted down yet.
All right. And gets out the packing straps and like starts ratcheting it in place.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
No problem. I did load in, load out for Guar once, so.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. So I think that since the van has been unlocked, that I've also put a couple things in the van. Just being a lawyer was just so tough. So I have some pillows back there and some art supplies where I just write and paint as we take our journeys. But I don't sit in the front or in the seats. I sit in the back with the stuff.
Cut to a confessional, I think. So Zane used to be a lawyer, and
Well, now we've had one this scene as far as mechanical.
Okay.
But you can still talk to the
then
camera.
it's not
if you like.
mechanical.
Okay.
Zane used to be a lawyer. Now they mostly just kind of take naps. And there's another long pause.
Nice. Excellent. Very cool. So is there anything else you want to do at your at your place? Gather more stuff, or do you just want to head down there?
Bring the ghost equipment and the big plastic bin.
Okay. What I'm going to say is you can just go ahead and grab a bin with the stuff in it, and then when it comes to time for you to decide what it is you're pulling out, that's when we'll make the deck rolls.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good.
I can see Ocean walking around to all the interns and like pointing out the important numbers and this is the one that you call if you need us immediately. This is the one that you call if it's not urgent but you need to leave a message. Okay. And there's always the cops. Don't be afraid to call them. I know they suck, but sometimes you just have to.
Okay.
Checks in the background at the cop part going like clearly visible in camera. But behind Ocean.
And we'll be bringing coffee when we come back, so just go ahead and write down a Dunkin' order for me.
Okay.
It is going to be Dunkin', not Starbucks.
Okay. The important thing actually in that area also to distinguish between is Dunkin' and Krispy Kreme, because the wars wars have been fighting rather mightily between the two in that area in particular. You can in that city you can throw a rock and hit a Krispy Kreme, but the Dunkins, which are there, are further and fewer and further between.
Our franchise signed a blood oath with Duke Duncan, so
yeah, we get access to his castle. No, wait, wrong Duncan. Anyway, so you're going to head out? Who is driving?
Oh no. Is that a tech thing or is that an admin thing?
I don't know.
I'll drive.
Excellent.
It's a heavily loaded van. I'll drive.
All right, excellent. I'm not going to have you make a skill roll, actually. This is a 1-die stress roll as you are driving through the traffic to get to this place, because you have people starting to bleed in. So it's been a little bit. It's one of those things where you're starting to get tourists in. Some of the early crowd are coming, and so it's you never know what you're going to see on the road as you get from point A to point B. You have only the one road to travel down. But it could be treacherous.
All right. 1 die. Yes!
You are excellent. Okay, so you are going to gain a point of cool and suffer absolutely no stress for this. The way that cool works is that you can do a few things with it. You can expend it if you want to, as part of to help you sort of heal up if you've lost anything off of one of your skills. But you can also use it to basically ignore 1 die stress rolls if you have a single cool die. However many cool dice you have, then you can ignore the lowest stress dice for that number, for the number of you that you have. So you will make it down to the as you just sort of pull down around. So this is very easy for you.
Drive very aggressively.
Yeah, it's just sort of weaving back and forth, quickly getting around. Sadly, there are no roundabouts, so it is traffic is just what it is there, which is not a horrible mess yet, but it will be in a couple of weeks. As you head down this road down to where you can get down on Ocean Boulevard or near it. Well, you don't actually have to get on Ocean Boulevard. You're on the main road here. It'll be either side really. You don't have to be on Ocean Boulevard to get there.
We're not taking Ocean Boulevard.
No, you're not. You're really not. It's very slow.
No, you don't want to hear the same mom joke that Ocean makes every time.
Yeah.
We're driving on my boulevard.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. But now you make it down. Potentially, I believe it's King's Road. I've forgotten. It's been too long now. I've forgotten the name of the main road. Sadness. But you get down there, and so you pass into the sort of the old. This neighborhood now. It's a little bit rougher than it used to be. It's since they pulled the pavilion out. You have these sort of sad-looking the places that used to be bars, and there's a furniture store that's still there, and then this restaurant that has somehow managed on the end to sort of cling on for dear life, where there used to be coffee houses, and to your left is a wide open field with a zipline tower constructed on it. Not right in the middle, it's over to one side. Most of it is open field. And I think as you pull up, I think that we're going to go ahead, if folks are good with it, and I think we're just going to go ahead and do a break if we would like to do that.
Sure.
All right. We're going to break for a few minutes, and then we will come back and see what comes of their investigation. See you shortly. we have returned, and we are now we're at we're at a place. We're at a place. We're at. We are at the pavilion, or where the pavilion used to be. And there are not a lot of people around at this point. The Zipline place, I think, probably doesn't have a lot of business right now. But I think they're probably open. They're probably going to be open for another... As we're getting... It's not nightfall just yet, I will say. And I will say they did say that they'd seen the place at night, but at the same time, you know, so I figure if you can come out and sort of investigate a bit beforehand if you so desire. If not, we'll do a quick cut, either way. But as you're pulling up, you're at that point where it is still possible to get a parking spot, but the available parking spots will dwindle very rapidly within the next few days. There's also a parking deck actually nearby if you decide you want to use that. What are we doing?
Check is like unpacking stuff from the van. She's a little fat, very bottom heavy, and is just sort of loading herself up with, like, she's got a fanny pack, she's got a bag on her side, she's got like a rolly like case, like one of those hard-sided cases, and she says to Ocean, based on the news articles, we're either going to be dealing with Big Ralphie or Little Ralphie at the Zipline place. I'm not sure which.
Well, whichever Ralphie it happens to be, I'm sure that we can come to some sort of an agreement on what needs to be done here. I think I can handle it. Believe me, honey, I know how to turn on the charm when I need to.
Oh.
I mean, if worse comes to, like, she'll, Evie will kind of, like, button. We could also, like, yell, like we did last time, yell, "It's haunted," until they finally relent, right?
It did turn out not to be haunted, though.
Still.
It's not my preferred method, but results are results.
And I definitely have the bear mace.
I'm getting out of the back of the van, and for some reason, rope is very important to me. So I'm grabbing the rope. Never know if we'll end up high, but I want the rope.
You have 50 feet of rope.
Yes. Perfect.
As any good adventurer should.
I also hand you like a little mesh bag of carabiners.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Might do some acrobatics. You never know.
Yeah. What was it? Evie comes out with her electronic equipment, which is all manner of kind of like. It's very noisy, and there's like lights everywhere on it, and kind of like it makes that it makes that noise of like a loud fan, but every so often, you know, when a wire hits a fan, it makes that kind of like that terrible like noise every once in a while.
Mm.
It's fine.
Ocean's definitely doing that thing where, like, she doesn't want to help carry a lot of things, but she doesn't want to look like she doesn't want to help. So she's taking, like, a few of the lightest possible things. But she's also got, like, this mom fanny pack that has, like, you know, a few bottles of painkillers and some emergency medical supplies.
Excellent.
Is that a cut to the zip line? I don't know what a zip line.
So if you imagine,
I don't know what you see when you arrive.
if you imagine a kind of a metal poles, you know, when you set up a this metal structure around a building while you're doing repairs on it. You know what one of those things looks
Scaffolding?
like. Scaffolding, thank you. It looks like a tower of scaffolding, but it is recently erected, so it is not it does not have the wear of age upon it, as far as is visible anyway. But it does have, you know, just basically you've got as you're heading out there, you have a tower. You see there's zip lines overhead, and there's that basically head down to. There's like one that heads off the roof of the super block behind you, and down across. And then there are a few that are in this sort of weird kind of pattern. Strange meshed pattern, almost, one might say, that have been erected from these different other sub-towers that they've kind of set up. And then a couple that go down to some spot near the beach. Like over the traffic. So you get the thrill of looking down on Ocean Boulevard. If you are riding the zip line. Until it hits its exit point, which is it's out probably near the probably near where the arcades used to be. Well, I guess the buildings. I think that building is probably still there, if I recall correctly. But there's other stuff now. So you don't see anybody around right now.
Is there like an office trailer, or like is this a sort of place where you just like make an appointment and some dude will show up in a truck? Like, other than the zip lining equipment, is there anything else here?
Yeah, there's a sign saying that they're open. And there's like a little portable building. Very small. It's like a ticket booth in size. That's down there. There's clear glass and you can see in, and you don't see anyone in there.
Ocean's gonna go over and she's gonna start like knocking on windows. Hello? Hi there. Anybody in there? I'd like to speak to the manager, please.
There is a you're gonna actually, and I'm not gonna make you roll yet, but you're gonna see a sign that is pointed upward, near where the glass is, and it says underneath the arrow, there's this arrow basically pointing up, and underneath the arrow, it says office is open. And it's pointing up into the air, toward the tower, the big tower.
Well,
I got some binoculars.
Zane's walking around with Ocean trying to find everyone or anyone. Ralph, because their names are Ralph, right? Ralph.
Ralphie.
Ralphie, little Ralphie. I look to Ocean and I think we gotta climb that.
in this heat, though.
I know. I don't mind going up.
Would you, darling? Please.
Of course. Of course. Only for you. and I take my rope and the carabiners that Chet gave me, and I start to go up. Is it a spiral staircase?
Yeah, there is a there is a spiral staircase. It goes up
Okay.
inside this scaffolding tower.
Okay. I'm yelling Ralph the whole way. Ralphie, Ralph.
And
We just have some questions for you.
as you get up further up, you finally you kind of you'll see this that part of this tower. As you get further up, you see that there's part of this actually looks like it has more solid walls rather amongst the scaffolding, and the stairs lead up to this platform, and you see that there is the door to this office is open, and you see there is a it looks like there is a kid. He looks like he's about 15, 16 maybe, possibly. And he's got his headphones on and he seems to be playing a video game.
Sounds good. Hi. Are you Ralph? Ralphie? You're Ralphie, right? Hello.
So you kind of, so after a moment, as you just sort of are leaning closer, trying to get his attention, he'll eventually, he's just sort of turned, you can see you in his peripheral vision eventually, and he'll just be like,
Hi.
he will, he'll take his headphones off, and he's like, he's got short hair, wearing a t-shirt, that says Ralph's Zipline on it, and just sort of stand up and be like, "Oh, hey, welcome, welcome to Ralph's Zipline. How can I help you?"
Hi. I'm Zane. Are you Ralph or Ralphie? Are you in charge?
Yes, I'm in charge right now. Yeah.
You're in charge.
Yes, I am.
Pretty sure in this state there's a law that says anyways, okay, we are here. I work for a company and we're here. We have some questions. So my team's downstairs, way down there. Can we all talk? We have some questions.
What kind of questions? What's this about?
We've been contracted because there's been some weird things going on around here. I just come on, let's go down. Just come down with me. Is there anyone else here though, by the way? Like, are you just here alone? Like you're in charge? Alone here.
Well, Dad took off for a bit.
Okay.
He'll
Will he
he
be
said
back?
there ain't no business right now, so
But you're open, so
we are open. Yeah. No,
Okay.
we're open. Can definitely. If you want a zip, we can get you on a zip.
yeah, actually, sure. I mean, I brought my rope and carabiner. I mean, we can meet with them in a minute. We're, mind if I go down?
No, sure. Let me get you set up, and
Okay.
he will.
$20 says they ride the zip line, holding out a bill towards Evie.
And he will.
Free ticket.
Yeah, he will go to his. There's a little podium that he goes to and sets up. And just asks to and so it's but before he sends you, he will ask for the he let me see here. Yeah, actually, I feel as though I'm feeling thus far as though there's no need to roll anything yet. So he basically will he will go over and he will start. He will ask for it's either cash or a credit card.
You're charging me. Listen, how about you come with me? Because here's the thing, I'm trying to help you. I think if we just ease into this group, there's been some talk around town about this place, and I think as a favor, let's just call it even. I mean, no one was downstairs. I really don't think you should be in charge, but that is no longer my problem. So let's together go down and kind of show me the ropes. Let's go down together and let's talk to my team because, I have some things to do tonight. So I'm trying to get off work.
All right. I think now is the time to make a contact roll, please. So go ahead and do your skill roll and enter the number of dice you have in contact.
Ride.
Okay. Let me see here. Where are we?
Oh.
No, we're not quite there yet. Sorry. I thought it was a roll and it was not.
Oh no, I have 3 in contact.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, hit the skill roll button and yeah. Amazing.
Oh,
okay.
no.
So he will agree to this apparently.
Perfect.
But something amazing is going to result from this. It's going to get you 2 mission tokens. So you're actually about to possibly find something out, or something's about to happen that will help you with your mission or progress your mission. So what happens?
So I think this kid starts to talk about that, like, remembers that I said something about something weird, and I think that they start to say, it has been a little weird around here.
Excellent. So yeah, and I'm imagining this is kind of happening as you're hooking up the zip lines and getting ready to head down. So he's probably confessing that there has been something weird going on here. Does he provide details?
He does provide some details. We become very chummy.
Excellent. What do you think he tells you?
I think he says that that they have, like, he wasn't sure because he's young and been with things, like he wasn't sure if he was seeing things or he was sleepy or what, but has been seeing some things, not necessarily what Nicola was seeing, but like they have seen some things that are out of the ordinary that kind of pop up that reminded them of the pavilion.
Yeah,
because the pavilion, I mean, this kid is 15. The pavilion kind of went away when this kid was born.
Yeah.
So there's some correlation there as well.
Yeah. So yeah, he's never seen the pavilion,
Right.
but he's heard about it, obviously being here, and so this is kind of, we'll talk about that occasionally, like as you're sort of heading down the line, sort of heading down. Yeah, it's one of those things where it was like I could hear like an organ playing. It was sort of, they said there was a pipe organ, and there was also there's this thing. It said there was this thing called a hurricane that they had. It was the roller coaster that they had, but I don't know if it was like that. But I saw a thing that was kind of shaped like a hurricane, and it's sort of you hit the point at the bottom near the other side of Ocean Boulevard, and as you sort of get down, and you do fairly well, you do okay, and he's like, yeah, that was fun. And he'll help you, deal with the harness and what have you. I don't know how zip lines work, but he does a magical thing, and you are no longer in zip line. And
interesting. So, I mean, you've seen things like
Yeah,
So-
sometimes at night I'm up on the tower and I'll hear things, or I'll see a thing looks like a building show up, and then it goes
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, that's what we are hearing. That's what we're here looking to investigate. Come on, now, let's go. Let's run across the street over here and go talk to my team.
Okay. And you will he gathers up the rest of the equipment, and you dash across the street. As you sort of pass by people very slowly cruising along the street. Not going to. It's not as gummed up as it's going to be soon, but it's still, there's a fair number of people out on the boulevard right now. You head back across to the open field, and so Ocean and Evie and Czech will see the figures of Zane, the figure of Zane coming forth with this beanpole lad at their side.
Did you feel any like mystical emanations or smell skunk ape musk?
I don't know what that is.
No, I'm talking to Zane. Did it feel like there was something like tearing at the very fabric of your soul?
It did feel a little weird at the top, but I thought it was just because of, I'd walked up all those stairs. It's been a long day. So I thought that was my more lightheaded kind of out of body feeling, and not as much of potentially what could potentially be going on.
We should definitely check for some sort of gas leak just in case. As much as I do want it to be something
And here, have some
cool.
more. We want to make sure you don't get any heat stroke or nothing.
Thank you. This is Ralphie, little Ralphie. They are in charge, and their family owns this establishment. And they said that they've been seeing things, structures. They saw the hurricane, roller coaster. So yeah, I mean, I'm like, so clearly, there's something going on here.
Is it an old family? Like, with a strange and mysterious past?
Yes, Ralphie. Has anybody sworn vengeance against your family?
Not that I'm aware of.
Anybody die on the Zipline, Ralphie?
We've only just opened last week.
Yes or no, Ralphie?
No.
It's been a week.
No.
Okay.
Anyone in the family with webbed feet?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe just the one, but no one else.
Ralphie,
I'm not
when
good
is
at these
your
interviews.
dad coming back?
I called him. He should be showing up soon.
Okay, good.
Is your dad a ghost, Ralphie?
And I think more or less at this point.
And she's just like she's waving like some sort of electric thing, like trying to think like very close to him.
Are you actually trying?
She's taking readings wherever. She's not being subtle.
Okay, have you been going around taking readings here?
Yes, very publicly. Like
Okay, so we have to know two things right now. One is we have to know what it is that you have in your hand. So I think we're going to need an equipment roll first off to figure that out. So go ahead and do an equipment roll for me using your tech rating.
okay.
To let us know what level of equipment you have in your hand right now.
All right. Let's see.
Guy's pretty gangly. It could be a Slenderman.
Okay, I think you did. Okay, you got a 6. I think you did a skill roll, but that's fine.
Oh, sorry, scroll.
No, that's okay. It's we can count it still. You got a 6, which means that you have something freaking remarkable. So it could be an ultra high tech thing if you so desire. What is this thing that you have?
It's just like a electromagnetic detector with something that's able to talk to ghosts.
Excellent. So this can pick up, basically, this can pick up cross chatter from the Netherworld. This thing can actually can pinpoint a spirit at 100 yards, say. And now I guess we're now going to make another roll, which is going to be your technology roll, and that again is the skill roll. So it's
okay. It's a skill roll.
the same
Okay.
roll. And we have to find out what you find out as you're scanning around.
Okay.
Good. Okay. So that means that you're going to gain another mission token. You're getting closer here. So as you're scanning around, you're going to find something out that is helpful to this to this situation. So something good is going to happen as a result of your scanning around. What happens?
So she hears on the headset a it's on stereo, so everyone kind of hears the clacking of skee ball, like that loud noise, and like the little prize siren. It's like, all right, there's definitely something here.
This sound. It's like the clacking of ski balls coming in the sort of the sound that it makes sort of when you hit a target on some of those machines, and it's there's something happening where there's something definitely that sounds amusement parkish nearby.
Horrible cackle of Big Bertha. That big tooth puppet thing that's in some arcade.
Yeah,
It's nightmarish. It's terrible.
Yeah, so you're hearing these sounds, and yeah, Ralphie is kind of freaking out right now a little bit because it's sort of looking around. So everyone is kind of hearing this. Evie also, as you've just heard this, and it's like, okay, this is something definitely kind of weird sounding that shouldn't be here. This means there is a supernatural presence of some kind. I'm going to need you to make a 2-die stress roll, please.
okay.
Okay.
Oh no.
Frazzled. So you're going to you lose 2 of your skill dice for the time being, as you're frazzled by this. And this can be from, you get to pick whichever skills you want to lose them from temporarily.
All right.
And so, how do you react to this when you're hearing all of this noise, this chatter coming through?
I think she loses a little bit. She just wanders off and just starts yelling, "I am willing to join the ghost realm. Let me join you. Just give me a sign. Just give me a sign." Just yelling out. In the way it's proud, she has become overly excited about this now that there is and now she's being very loud and very unsubtle about what she's doing.
I shrug at Ralphie, say she's had a dry spell.
You just hear in the background, "I want to love you. Let me show me."
Oh Lord. Bless her monster loving heart.
So yeah, she's just not taking any readings at all. She's just just has gone to the stage of just yelling into the nothingness of this field.
Hey, Ocean, do we think we can find out more about this, why they set up the zip lines this way?
Yeah, it doesn't by all accounts, it seems like these don't even go anywhere.
Do those ones go like in a circle? Does that work?
It seemed like Ralphie was very intentional on which lines we went on. So I don't know.
What's he doing now in response to the ghost phenomena?
He's freaking out a little bit. He's kind of also running around the field, kind of in a circle, just kind of looking around and just trying to see if he's seeing anything. And he's very confused. It is starting to get darker, just so you're all aware.
I'll hand like Ocean a granola bar and a bottle of water and like gesture towards Ralphie.
Basically, I'll just walk on over and I'll very gently put a hand on his shoulder. It's all right, son. It's all right. Here's some water. I've got a snack for you. Everything's
Okay.
gonna be just fine. We're professionals, all right? You understand? We're professionals. This is what we do. We're gonna get to the bottom of this, figure out what's going on. If I could ask you a couple more questions. I know you don't know as much as your daddy does, and that's okay. But maybe you have some insight that he might lack. You understand?
Okay.
So, when you send people down the zip lines, why do you send them one direction or another? Why do you choose which ones to send them down, and why do you choose those specific ones?
Oh well, we got the main one that comes from the super block, and that's higher up.
Mm-hmm.
You can go from there to here, and then the ones off the boulevard are lower down.
Mm-hmm.
They can go from here to there.
Right. Now, what about this little formation right here?
I think those are decorative.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, everybody wants places to look nice, especially their place of business. Draws in guests, you understand. But any particular reason for this formation?
I think I would like you to make a contact roll, please.
Cool. I have 4 dice in that.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. So yes, you're going to get another mission token. So you're going to find something out here. What happens?
So I don't think he specifically understands it, but I think he's heard his dad talking about it in passing. Like maybe he was on the phone with like a contractor or something and was talking about why they had to be in this specific formation.
Yeah, he was. So yeah, he'll tell you. Yeah, he was talking to. Just to be clear, he was telling the contractor it had to be in that formation. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
the person whoever it was that put this up.
Yeah. Now I was talking to when they put them in, and he said that they had to follow the pattern that he gave them.
And he didn't say why?
No, it's just the pattern out of the book.
Out of the book.
Yeah, the book.
Can we see the book?
Well, I mean, you can, I suppose. Yeah. I don't know. Daddy said I wasn't supposed to show no one the book.
It's totally fine. I don't want to get you in trouble, but it would really help us out. I promise.
Well, okay.
I won't tell no one if you won't.
If you really think it'll help, it's up in the office.
All right. I'm going to head up there myself this time.
Climb the stairs. Climb the spiral staircase.
She's very clearly out of breath, like halfway up. She takes a break halfway up. And we get a moment where she's talking to the camera. Now, I don't want to be the one to say this, but I'm not exactly the best with physical labor. And I know that in a lot of jobs like this, they expect a lot of physical labor. So I do sometimes try to take it easy.
Cut to check. Ocean never carries anything. It's fine.
Back to the actual scene. Lord help me. It's too hot for this.
Yeah, it is starting to cool down a little bit because you're getting into dusk. Dusk is approaching, but yeah, it's still not great. Temperature's getting up there. So you're on this platform, and there's this sort of little building lit thing attached to the platform, where the office is, and Ralphie probably left it open, so you've got an office there.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely looking around for
a
book.
So you're going to go inside into the office, which is it's fairly messy. It's got a lot of there's like a video game. There's like a little portable stove in here. There's a desk. There are some boxes with some things in them, and you're going to search around. And I need you to make an academics roll as you are searching around.
Oh boy, that's the one I'm really bad at.
Excellent.
So I get to take dice from the thing if I need them.
Yeah, if we're good with that, yeah, you can grab some of the gym dice for this if you want to use those.
Library, right?
Library.
Oh wait, no, wait, did I say? Oh yeah, academics. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Brain, not here. These are two words that begin with A, academics and athletics, and somehow my brain decided to link the two together, as one would link two pieces of paper with a staple gun. The library card, yes, you can take dice. How many dice do you want off the library card?
I think I'm just going to take one. I don't want to be greedy. Okay.
All right, so you grab one of those dice, and so add one to whatever number you put in there for your skill roll. Okay,
3.
Not great. So the GM decides you may be given a chance to suggest a single positive, albeit minor, effect. And usually with these things, I do ask a little bit more as far as it goes. But so something not great happens, but you can suggest one positive effect out of it. So a thing with a silver lining as you're looking through for this book. What do you think happens?
So I think I spot the book. That's the one silver lining, is that I spot the book that's being talked about.
Okay.
So I know it's here.
Okay.
The problem arises when I go to reach for it and I pull a bunch of stuff over on top of myself. And now the place is even messier. I've lost the book and I'm covered in stuff.
Yeah, so this torrent of as you reach for this book, that I imagine being like in the middle of this pile, kind of, that will go up kind of close to the ceiling, like this pile of boxes. You saw it like sitting between two boxes, right? And you hear like the rattling of plastic things inside the boxes. Maybe they're souvenirs of some kind. It's hard to say. But these things sort of spill out onto you into this big pile that is coming down. And I would like you to make a 2-die stress roll for me, please.
This should be fun. Doop and boop. Frazzle.
No.
So you lose 2 dice from a skill. So you deduct 2 dice temporarily from your skill, or a skill, or 2 skills, one over 2. So this torrent of things, plastic toys, other things have fallen down upon you. And the tower itself is wobbling a little bit, just a tiny bit, as this happens, as you're sort of in this you weren't prepared for this and involuntarily jerking about a little bit. So what is your reaction? How
There is just an unholy shrieking from up there, and it's gently like the whole thing is gently shaking, and you can hear something you almost never hear. Ocean is cursing. Normally she is all poised and all put together, and now she is screaming and cursing, and she's freaking.
As dusk is settling in, the clarion call from atop the tower comes forth that you all hear, and a string of curses.
Oh, you just hear like Evie's head just like turn on a swivel, and she just runs toward the thing. She thinks 100% that Ocean has made contact with something. It's just rushing.
Do we have like radios or something?
I was wondering.
Would you like to have radios?
Sure.
Now, do you want terribly sophisticated radios, or do you want just walkie-talkies?
I'm just thinking walkie-talkies.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. You've got those.
Okay. I'm gonna. Hey, boss. Everything all right?
And like there's a few, like it'll activate and a few curse words will come through, and then it'll cut out, and then it'll activate again. Stupid fucking book, and let go again.
Over
You
the
share, like,
there we go.
stay in contact with them. Don't keep in contact.
Over
I'm
the
actually-
walkie. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, so I'm laying on the grass, kind of like this, looking up at the sky, kind of, and I was like, I say over the radio, maybe you should have just came down the zipline like I did. Seems like you found some friends up there. I didn't have that problem. At least my friend was living.
There's no fucking friends.
And I think over the walkie-talkies, as this is going through, you're probably starting to hear a little bit sort of like some sounds like someone distantly singing, and then it sounds like sort of music in the background, pipe organ music or something for a moment, and then it cuts out.
You're doing something right. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. I'm hearing something.
I walk over to where Zane's lying down and say, you might need this, and hand them a sketchbook and a pencil.
Thank you. Yes. Waiting on whatever Ocean's doing up there. We're gonna be here a while, so I might as well.
Is now was Evie running up the tower? Is that okay? So you're heading up. And let me see here. What else we got? Okay, so we've got Ocean and Evie are heading are going to be on the tower, and Zane and Czech are out on the ground. And as the the sun isn't completely setting yet. This is a long process. Sunset. There you do from time to time. I think Zane is just sort of lying there. It's like you're not sure if it's like something you're seeing in the clouds or something, but occasionally you'll see this thing that maybe this could be a piece, like a sort of a thing that might come out of your vision, like a thing that's like a piece of a roller coaster or something. But it's not there. It's hard to say, but it could be there. And so it'll just be sort of something hovering up there. Maybe we don't know. It's just for a moment, as it's getting darker. And I think in a moment Evie is going to reach the top of the tower.
I think by this point, Ocean has extricated herself from the junk and is like outside of the office again and is like trying to set herself to rights, but clearly she's pissed.
There's all this junk spilling out of the office. Some of it is falling off the platform. As Evie, as you see
Hard
this,
hat.
yeah.
What was it? What was it? Spectre?
I'm
Should I
looking for
yell
this-
too? Should I yell? Should I?
Evie, would you stop being a monster fucker for 5 minutes? There's a book in there that the kid said has a diagram of what they designed up there with the zip lines. And I was trying to find it and everything where the hell is this kid's father?
I keep telling you, might be a ghost.
I don't think he's a ghost, Evie.
I mean, we can't rule that out, can we?
No, I guess we can't because we haven't seen him yet.
So, where's this book?
It's in there somewhere. I lost it when everything fell over. It's in the pile somewhere. I gotta go dig through, and I just don't want to. There's so much dust, and I'm sweating. I hate sweating.
She'll peer into the room. It's like, oh, that's no problem. If we want to, I can take care of this.
Please, I don't want to go back in there.
Yeah, I think it's also, once we get into the room, it's like smash cut to every moment from the camera crew of like Evie's like workplace, which is just worse than this. There's just wires everywhere.
It's a confessional. Check is saying, I don't understand how Evie finds anything in her stuff. I tried to organize it. She yelled at me. It makes no sense, but it takes her like 5 minutes to find anything in that mess. And if you want a characteristic of, I don't know what the term for that characteristic is.
Clutter keeper.
Organized chaos.
Organized chaos.
We can do that. Awesome. Okay, yeah, totally. So yeah, that means also that you're going to hunt through this, and you're going to find a book. As you're able to dig through, and it takes about 5 minutes. And you get this book, and it's this sort of leather bound, sort of tome looking thing. It's about yay big.
Is it human leather?
It's hard to say. I can't tell. Maybe. I'll bring it out.
Ooh, if it is, I've made a actual like little pouch out of leather. So can I once we're done, but like, can I see it? Because if it is like that, it's going to be something nice. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I'll bring it out.
So you're going to bring it down the stairs? Is that kind of what we're looking at?
Yeah.
Okay. You have the book. You are removing the book from its place in that that tower, and bringing it down the stairs to your fellow investigators. Ocean, are you coming along down? Are you down the tower? Okay. Good.
Oh yeah, I don't want to be up there any longer than I have to be.
You head down from the tower. By the time you hit the bottom of the tower, then we are at sunset. And the lights, such as they are around some of the buildings a bit away, have come on. There are some lights on the tower itself, a few that come on, so you all can see. But there are now shadows playing all about. Especially, from the other lights outside of it, you can see it sort of comes through the mesh and makes weird patterns on the ground.
Call it a big old mag light.
And,
The kind that can be a self-defense weapon.
But Evie and Ocean will emerge from the tower with this book. And Jack and Zane are there.
Do you think we can summon anything from this?
I mean, not anything.
I mean,
I, like, put on latex gloves and hold my hands out for the book.
she'll have that moment of like, fine. Saying, is this animal leather, or is it,
You know, it is a nice one. It seems really old. One that I haven't had the pleasure of working with, but I'm excited to dig into it. But with the age of it, I'm a little concerned, to be honest. Where is this kid and where's their father? I mean, if this is as old as I think it is, this could maybe be in the family or something. I don't know, but I have questions.
Well, it's funny you should ask, because as you look up, you see that Ralphie isn't there. I think he was there a moment ago.
You're sure he wasn't a ghost?
I think, just like smash cut to confession. Like, I told you.
I'm gonna look through this this book before we get tackled by ghosts or whatever.
Yes, just
Academics?
prior. Yes. Good. All right.
I'm rolling amazing today.
Let's see here.
6
What do
amazing.
we got? All right. So you've done your academics. You have, or academics, depending on if it's a serial. And you got an amazing result. So you have 2 more tokens. You're getting close to the apex of this mission. We have we're at 8 mission tokens right now, and so we're probably going to go for 10 to 12. Maybe we might go to 12 mission tokens on this. And so as you're looking through the book, something amazing happens to further the case. What happens?
What? This isn't. I'm trying to think. Amusement park. Was it? Is this the sort of amusement park that would have clowns?
We're
At
on
the
a
time
wavelength.
Well, it can. I will say the version I was at didn't really have much in the way of characters walking around or anything like that, but it easily could. This version of it could easily have clowns, provided we're all good with clowns.
Okay, what if not clowns, but even if it didn't have mascot suits? So I open it up and I'm like...
we could see it. It might.
So I've got good news and bad news. Bad news is I don't think we're dealing with ghosts. But the good news is I think we're dealing with what's the term for like a nest of mascots.
Just imagining like almost like a beehive or something of like mascots coming out.
What is the collective term for mascots?
It's been about 17 years since the park was at its last peak, and that's about their life cycle. So, I mean, if they're hatching and there's no park for them to be in, that could be explaining a lot of this.
Wait, so the disembodied spirit of Mr. Soft Serve?
I mean, if they're disembodied, they're going to be looking for suits. I don't know if that's amazing.
Possibly. Well,
is that sufficiently amazing?
Well, let's spin that a bit, shall we?
I think then the amusement park shows up, right? Like
I think probably
it has to
this might be-
manifest.
I think here's the thing. Yeah, as you come across it, and the book is you're sort of looking through the book, and you're finding this sort of this description of these entities that will assume these forms, these walkers who put on various types of skins, as it were, but not of the necessarily. There are certain legends from different peoples of different beings like that, but
This
these
is all
are
in
more
voiceover
bodiless.
from Czech.
Yes, these are more bodiless entities. They're not so much what you would find in like certain. There's certain things Eastern European, but also Native American legends and various things where people put on things. These are more. This is more sort of the idea of so not from those, but this is more a bodiless entity that will inhabit sometimes these different things like mascot suits. And one of the terms folks will use for them is mascots, because they like colorful identities to inhabit, rather the idea of being these different things, beings who are the costume, as it were, living costumes. And this is when... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh. This is when there's this vibration that you hear from above, it's rumbling, as these lines between the different towers vibrate over a particular sound, and you can see sort of there's a little bit of thunder from above, and when the light hits the center of this pattern, it's just the clouds part just a bit. You can see buildings, shapes of buildings appearing around you, and it's this sort of jumbled hodgepodge of buildings from different eras. Roller coasters, yes. Also, sort of low, flat buildings. A couple of stages. A couple of haunted house-looking things. One of them has a really big skull embedded in it with big bony fingers coming out. Number of whirling rides. An ancient-looking carousel.
Totally booted me from the call. Oh god. Okay, there we go.
Ah. And that is what we see. And I'm going to request that that everyone. We had a little bit of a shift. I'm going to shift folks around while you're doing this. And I don't normally ask for everyone to do this, but occasionally I do when something big like this happens. I would like everyone to make a 3-die stress roll, please.
And I ignore lowest because I've got a cool die.
Anyone who has a cool die may ignore their... if you have one cool die, you ignore the one lowest die. Anyone with more than one cool die may ignore the multiple lowest dice, depending on how many cool dice you have. Alright, let's have a look. Let's see how we're doing. As we flip everyone to where they belong, here we go. Alright. So we have, I'm just going to look up from the bottom here, and I see that we have a frazzled result for Evie. So you're going to lose 2 dice from an appropriate skill. We have Also a frazzled result from Check.
Except I'm at a 3. I'm only stressed.
Oh, that's
I'm
right. You're
cool.
only stressed. You've got a cool die. Okay. Does anyone else have a cool die? No one else has a cool die? Okay. We have from Zane, we have an annoyed result, so it's just a 1 die penalty to your next roll, your next skill roll. So just whatever your next one is. So you're somewhat annoyed by this. And then frazzled also for Ocean. Again, loses 2 dice. So yes. How are we all reacting to this? What's happening?
I think I'm taking an attack as I lose track of that case. Just like I reach for my supplies and like there's a creepy goldfish scooping station there instead.
Yes. This place where you can gather around and fetch goldfish out of this pond. Well, not a pond, it's a tank.
Glorified kiddie pool.
Yeah. There are things swimming around in there. We're not sure what they are.
I think Ocean looks up at the thing that's happening, and she starts stepping backward a couple of times, and like her ankle crumples underneath her, and she falls over.
I think Evie's just to overcome. She just drops her equipment and just starts running around the nostalgia park. This is the best thing that's happened to her in months.
I think I'm walking around too. I'm intrigued. What's going on? I want to do something. I'm not sure what yet.
As Evie and Zane are walking around, you'll see some more lights are starting to come on, and some of the rides start operating. Some of them have paths that go in directions they should not go in. And you see almost the shadows passing between. It's like almost you spot maybe a person, but no. It was between a couple of buildings, but they're not there. You don't know. It's hard to see. Maybe there's someone shifting between different places. And that also, I think, is when, from as you're all just sort of glancing around. What? Well, actually, no. What are we looking for as we're wandering this park?
Evie really wants the spirit to manifest at this moment. Very badly.
Okay. I have an important question to ask you. Are you primarily looking around from place to place, from building to building, from ride to ride? Is that your primary method, just searching? Or are you more just trying to call out to them like you were before?
Probably both.
If you had to decide...
If I had choice, she is going to explore the thing. Explore the space.
It's more of an exploration of the space. Okay. But
yeah,
there
so
is
she's
calling
running
out from
place to
time
place.
to time
Yep.
doing this.
Yep.
Go ahead and make for me an academics roll, please.
Cool. That is okay. It's not the worst. It's not. Those haven't taken the hit that dice have taken.
Good. So a good thing happens. You get a mission token. We're getting very close now to solving this thing. So, a good thing happens as you are looking around. What happens?
You know what? Let's make this. Oh. It makes itself known in the in the funhouse where that the entrance is that weird spinny room. It's just
Yes. So when you say it makes itself known, does something appear, or is it just that you see a lot of activity in there, or maybe even you detect a lot of activity in there?
Oh, she left the equipment's gone. It is pure
okay.
This is. Yeah, I want it pure. Let's have something. Let's see what this thing is.
So
Is this the one with the skull and the hands?
Yeah, 100%.
we can
She doesn't
say
care.
that,
It's
yes.
scary.
This is a strange version of the Haunted Inn. It looks a little bit brighter than the.
Can it be? Oh. Can it be the skull? I just want the thing to talk. I want the funhouse to talk.
It could. It totally could.
Yes.
So this is it's something that in quote unquote real life there was a building called the Haunted Inn. That had this big skull up front with these bones coming off. And this building has that as well, but it's strange because it's also brighter, and lights are shining around it. These bulbs, light bulbs, are on it. So it's like a strange combination of funhouse and haunted house, maybe? Weird thing. And it is a ride.
Oh.
You see at the entrance that a door opens, and as these big sort of, the big sort of egg-shaped big bucket rides that can seat like four or so people. And as it comes out, and you see that it's like some sort of hovering skull just barely in one of them as it goes in, and then the next one comes out. And of course the music turns on.
To camera as I'm helping Ocean wrap their ankle. One thing you never should do in an amusement park is get on one of the haunted rides.
That's very fair. That's very fair. Awesome. So, oh yes, Evie has spotted a clearly supernatural thing. As this house is turned on in front of her. So I am going, but you've only just barely seen it. So I am going to call for a, I am going to call for a 3-die stress roll as you see this thing. You're the first one to spot it, but then everyone else will see it.
Yeah, let's see. Let's go. Let's.
Complete and total.
She loves this.
Meltdown.
Oh.
And
I think does that mean you get on the ride?
Yes.
Awesome. Also, you lose 3 skill dice equal to the.
Cool.
So you're gonna pull those off.
She is gone.
So you all see Evie run for this ride and
Evie
hop
is lost.
on
Evie has lost it at this moment.
as it is going into the building.
This is the opposite of This is the opposite of like what every like normal instinct in someone. Now she's going toward the danger, very fast. Show me your secrets. Is what she yells.
Was that Evie?
Yeah, it's Evie. Uh-oh. I guess we should go with her. Like, it's like she's going inside. So
Yeah, I'll spot out here. Be a home base.
I mean, should we split up? I mean, last time we split up, Ocean, I don't even know what happened up there. Maybe we should stick together, especially now that everything is happening.
No splitting up. No splitting up. We need to go get her. Oh my god. I need a vacation after this.
Me too.
Well, she's probably having a good time in there.
Yes, but we don't need whatever's in there having a good time with her. Oh shit, she's probably like that.
There. Can you walk, Ocean? How's it feel?
I can limp. It's not great, but I can't very well just sit here.
I think I see a bar or something over there. Maybe something that you can use as like a walking cane to help you a little bit.
Sure, I guess. I don't.
And so I'm walking over and I find this like plank. There's also some like markers there. So while I'm holding the plank, I'm just drawing on it. It's almost like a cast, right? You gotta like make it cute, So I give it to Ocean. Here. So let's Let's go get Evie, everyone. Let's go. I mean, it's late. It's dark. This place disappeared. I mean, we should go home.
Sorry, just thinking of a future confessional.
Love it.
I'll like give Ocean a support with a shoulder. I assume Ocean's taller than me because
Ocean's little short. Like
okay, so
5-0.
Okay, so we're actually like I'm a little taller than you, which I'm acting like I'm expecting you to be taller because usually that's the case, but it's all super awkward. So I kind of look from it when we get like right in front of the funhouse. I like look from Ocean to Zane and at the house, and I'm like, do we? So are you? Which one? If we're not, who's going in?
We're all going in. Evie! We're all going in, Check. Come on. We're all going in.
Okay. She's still got her hard hat on. She's got the big flashlight. She like pulls from a pocket like shatter resistant goggles like that fit over her glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And then like waits to not be the first one in.
Zane probably goes in first. I mean, we can't send Ocean in first.
Okay. So we're going to have Zane going in first, followed by whom?
Probably Ocean.
Well, and actually, let me ask you how you go in, because are you just going to walk in along the track, or are you going to grab one of the vehicles?
Don't these places probably have like an employee entrance, right? Like for maintenance and stuff?
Good
I'm
idea.
sure they must.
Good idea. We'll go in that way. We'll go in that way. Still yelling Evie.
Okay. So you'll go around. Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard to find. You do find sort of on the side. There's this big sort of frame that says, employees only, and you will enter. Or attempt to. Let's find out where Evie has ended up, so that we may reunite you appropriately. Evie, you are being catapulted through this series of different rooms, some of which look like they're these sort of animatronic, sort of ghoulish creatures that appear on either side. Some of them look like sort of ghouls in tuxedos type deal. They're having some sort of a dinner party. You go through another room, and it's a little bit strangely dissonant, because it's like you've got wall-to-wall clowns. But they're not real. They're not real. You're coming... Not yet. But you're going to find these several different rooms of different types are in here. Possibly more than should fit in this building, I'm not sure. Different settings. Tell me. What are you doing as you are being carried through this cavalcade of locations?
I think she just has like this real happy smile. She loves this. This is... And then I think quick confessional, like, how'd you get started with this? Well, when I was little, I went to the Haunted Mansion, and then like, that part where the skeleton appears next to you? I went on that ride for the next 4 hours.
Nice.
Formative experiences.
All right. So, as you come through, you enter a room that looks like it's taking you. The track is taking you past a graveyard. These big, possibly styrofoam tombstones, and a big crypt in the center. Mist is swirling up. And this is where the ride judders to a halt. Outside of this fake cemetery? What would you like to do?
She'll get out of the little like capsule thing and just like, all right, where do you want me to go now? It's end of here.
Are you making an attempt to communicate? Is that what
Yes.
you're doing?
Yes.
Make a contact roll for me, please.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. This is. Yeah.
Failure is the most fun part.
Yeah. This is already. It's got me here so far. This is exactly what she wants.
Failing up.
Oh no.
Yeah. Let's. All right.
All right.
This is about
Something...
as. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said, yeah. This is about what I expected. This is not.
Something bad is happening. Something terribly bad. There's not even a silver lining.
Mm-hmm.
As you head potentially into this fake graveyard. What bad thing do you think is happening to Evie right now?
Ooh. You know what? Spirit's gonna lift her off the ground.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You come closer to this, and you feel this like a gust of wind as you get into the mist. And you're rising up quite suddenly as this misty forms pull you upward above this crypt. This area with this crypt and these darkness, and you see emerging from the ground some sort of like a thing is swirling. It's like maybe it could be a cauldron, it could be something. There's something swirling inside, and you hear from all around you. I need you to make a 4-die stress roll.
Oh, this is absolutely dreadful.
Is the laughter like coming over tinny speakers?
Yes, it's echoing out.
Oh boy.
You have received another meltdown, and you are losing 4 more skill dice.
She also laughs.
So there,
Oh,
cackling
my God.
erupts above this.
My poor stats. My poor stats.
Ocean, Zane, and Czech have entered the building. There is a cacophonous laughter coming from
That's not
somewhere.
Evie.
There is
Oh, no, wait.
cackling above it.
That's Evie.
You're in this strange room that you're entering after you. Well, there's an employee area where there's some, a few bare shelves and a desk, and just outside of it you see this area that the track goes by, full of weird twisty mirrors, and you hear this cackling. What would you all like to do? Zane is first, is up in front of everyone else.
Well, this isn't my most favorite place I've ever been. That did sound like Evie. Check, you're right. So, I mean, we want to get Evie We do. But being in here, it seems like a bad idea. Check, maybe you're right. Maybe we should wait outside. I mean, Evie, Evie. Evie will be fine. Evie's always fine. Evie gets into these situations, and then next thing you know, she's out. So, 'cause I kind of peek open like the door area where the track is. I mean, because this is where the little cart goes. I don't know. Like, I mean, Ocean, like, can you walk? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this is a good idea.
I offer Zane the flashlight, and I say, "Always ready to sacrifice the workers, huh?" And I walk towards the cackling.
Heading towards the cackling. Is anyone following you, or are you alone?
I'm following because I have to, because I can't not. I just,
Check.
So.
Check, listen.
Could be a lot of paperwork if 2 employees don't come back.
Fair.
Very true. I don't want to be left alone. It's one thing, there's nothing fun. I like fun areas at this point in my life, and this is not fun. So I begrudgingly continue, even though it was my idea for all of us to come in here in the first place. Instantly regretting it.
Fair. Check, you're in front as you're going through this area of distorted mirrors. It's like every now and then there's mist swirling about. What are you doing?
So is it like I can't tell exactly where the...
There are a number of potential exits from here. It's hard to say which are real or which are not, because things are getting reflected all over the place. It's hard to say which direction the track goes when you're not on it.
I feel like... What is this? Okay. I am going to take 4, if this is academics. Is this academics to try and find my way through a place?
Well, yeah, if you're just going to search and find your way through, yeah, this will be academics.
Yeah. Okay, so because I have 4 in academics, I can take 4, which means I just describe the mostly positive result with a negative or humorous effect.
Yes, that's correct.
And so I think that, we just get, shots of, almost Scooby-Doo style, there's this cackling above, and, Check goes through a door, and then, comes out behind some clowns that she, knocks over, just, cardboard standees, and then, turns around, and then, Zane's, if this is cool, coming in the door after her, and, Check bumps into Zane, and, they're startled, and they're just, bumbling through. It's very, very awkward on the show, but then they eventually come out maybe from the crypt in the graveyard and discover whatever situation Evie is in.
Excellent. As you emerge, Check, you're first as you emerge from this crypt that you have just sort of walked up a set of stairs to get to somehow. You burst into this graveyard. And all of you are bursting into this graveyard. There's this colored mist, this mist that's green and blue, swirling around, some of it in the shape of beings up, and they have Evie, who is dangling up above what looks like some sort of cauldron in the center that is glowing a burbling green. And this is the time, Check, to make a... by the way, awesome. This is the time to make a... Check, this is the time to make a 4-die stress roll.
All right. I'm cool still, right? Because that didn't
Okay.
get used up.
Yep, so you get to ignore the lowest result. So
Oh,
you
no.
got 2
Okay.
ones. So instead of a complete and total nuclear meltdown, you have an entirely different complete and total nuclear meltdown.
Did I get 2 ones?
You got 2 ones.
Oh
I
my.
see 3, 5, 1, 6.
Oh wait, where am I looking at?
Oh no! I was
Oh,
scrolling
no,
up.
you're
Oh
right.
no, I
I'm
got
sorry.
3 ones.
You did get 3
1,
ones.
1,
Oh
1,
my
4.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Dice. That's a dice.
Yeah.
It's a very
Oh,
persuasive
boy.
spirit.
4 dice. What does that mean?
Complete and total nuclear meltdown, and you're going to lose your cool if you have any, so you lose your cool die.
All right.
And
I lose
you're
my
going to lose
cool.
4 skill dice.
I'm gonna leave myself 1s and everything.
Okay.
I think at the end. And what does this mean? I think I just go. I see this. I go. No, nope, and turn around and walk past Celeste and Zane and just head out.
Celeste and Zane, you see Czech just sort of like turns around, starts heading back. Celeste and Zane, you have also seen what is happening in here, but I'm only making check roll because they're the first one into the room. Their reaction prepared you a little bit for this still horrifying thing that you're seeing.
It's great. It's wonderful. Join me. Join me.
Why don't you join me?
Thank you for the sub, Anina.
Oh, is there a confessional available?
Yeah, we have just tipped into a new scene, so if folks are good with you using the confessional for this scene.
I think I've got a good one. Okay.
All right.
It's a cut of me out. I'm out. I got out somehow. I'm sitting like on a sticky bench and like breathing hard. And then I kind of seem to realize something, and I'm like, were those the protective symbols from the universal alphabet? And then there's a shot of Ocean's crutch and like the doodles down it, and they kind of look like a series of mystical glyphs that Zane drew on it.
Nice. Yes. Yes, we're good with that. Then yes, that takes effect. So you have a crutch with protective glyphs drawn upon it, which will start to glow slightly as you enter this room.
Smoke's going blue.
So it's the 2 of us.
Yeah,
And,
2 of you, and Evie's up. Well,
sure.
Evie's close by.
Yeah,
right
true.
He's close by, but
I
gone.
have had it up to here with this supernatural BS. You put her down right now.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to make a contact roll for me. This could be for the whole ball of wax, potentially, depending on what we get.
Oh
Yes.
man. I only have 2 dice right now, but I still have 2 dice.
You can't
There's
boost
still a bank die if you want to use the bank.
contact, right?
No.
Oh, you can get
Yeah.
You can use
I
the
think-
bank die on contact. That's
Yeah,
the only die you can if
that's-
you want.
Mhm.
You want to use that?
Now's the time. Now or
That's
never.
fine.
All right.
Mhm.
Bank die is being used. Okay, and it is a 3. You got a 5. You got a good result. I'm gonna go ahead and move the bank die off here. Let me just check against the bank situation. Account withdrawal, no benefit or penalty. You just lose the die. Okay, good.
Okay.
Good. You get a mission token. So we are up to 10 tokens, which means we are about there. We're about there. Let's see. 2, 4, 6. Jim checks the time briefly. Yeah, we're about there. So this is something that is potentially going to resolve the entire situation. What good thing happens?
I think they listen to her mom voice because that's what she put on now. She's done with manager, she's done with employee, she's putting on mom voice now. And they hear mom voice and they're like, oh no. And they do, in fact, put Evie down gently. They don't drop her into the cauldron. They actually put her down. And they seem a bit, perhaps, sheepish, if I may.
Sure. They're like, oh. And they look and they sort of come down, and these spirits that are just sort of hovering there, they look over and they see your cane, and they're like, they see your crutch, and they see you say that, and they're like, oh, okay. And, they're just sort of hovering there for a moment. They put Evie down. They're kind of there. They hang their heads in shame.
Now, a little fun is all well and good, boys, but this has gone way too far. Now, you let us out of here, and you leave these kind folk alone.
They kind of just sort of look over at the cauldron, and they look over at Evie. Evie is being set down. How is Evie right now?
She's like, no.
And they just sort of.
She's unhappy. She's unhappy with this new situation.
Evie.
And the spirits just sort of look at each other. One just sort of shrugs at the other one. They're like, they won't go over, and they start wheeling the cauldron away. They look despondent. And you see it, and the door opens. The side door opens, and it opens to the outside.
Now, let's get out of here, and in the morning, we'll tell them they need to tear that thing down. And I'm gesturing at where the formation of zip lines were.
Mm-hmm. We're walking out toward Czech, right? And Zayn is looking at Ocean, and Ocean, between my masterpiece and your demeanor, we can be a team. We can be a really good team. I mean, they listened. I was worried. But they listened, and I don't know what I drew. I mean, these are things I've just drawn in class, and but I don't know. Who knew that I was so skilled and I'm so good at my job? Check. We're out. Check.
Yeah.
See?
You make it out of there.
Yeah.
You make it out, and
I'd like to file an occupational safety issue. Yeah, Ralph's Zipline. Yeah, just the frayed safety equipment. No helmets. Yeah, they let my boss go on the zipline, and oh hey, you made it out.
Yeah, we did.
Does Evie come out of the place, or is he?
Yeah, I think probably she's probably let out. She's sad. Charlie Brown walking back. This is.
Plenty of fish in the sea.
And I think as you folks are, I think if I may, as we sort of are going to cut back, and we see you folks exiting the park sort of vanishes. And I think we're going to find you at this point. We're going to, if we're good with it, we're going to go to our, we're going to go to our little coda here at the end, as everything appears to have resolved itself. As you're calling in and dealing with this. It's fairly late at night at this point, so the Ralphies are not present, but we're going to see what happens. So now we're going to go around, and we're going to do our final shots of things that as you each get to tell the audience from your perspective the ending of the story, and give us a hint of what happens to your character. What's the last thing we see of your character? So, as we go around, do we want to go in a particular order, or do we have a volunteer? Who has something?
I guess I can go.
Okay.
Ocean, like, she has one more shot of her with the camera, and she's like, listen, in this business, in any business, at the end of the day, all you have to do is put your foot down and let them know you mean business. And anybody will do what you say. And she walks away, and she walks to the van, and out of her fanny pack she pulls a flask, and she just opens it.
Excellent. And was that everything?
Yeah, that's for me. Yeah.
And who's next?
I can go.
Okay.
So I am I'm walking and looking at the camera. I stop and I say, you see, I spent years working hard, getting, winning cases, losing cases. Do you see what I did here today? I mean, I go from working 80, 100 hours a week. I mean, I practically solved the case here, right? I mean, look at what I drew. See, the time that I take to just free my mind and just let my expression go. I mean, those things saw they saw that cane, and they were shaken. So, I don't know if I should ask for a raise. There's barely any money here, but I think I do good work and I shouldn't change a thing, So if anyone's out there's hiring, call me.
Excellent. Who's next?
I think I've got a good closer.
All right. Yeah, I guess next shot would just be Evie kind of like looking a little despondent over like a table, just elbows on it, like not like this, and just kind of like tracing a circle on the table, and just like, next time maybe I'll be a werewolf. Next time.
Next time. And finally we go over to Check.
There's a shot of Check in the front seat of the van, and there's no one else in the van with her. And she kind of shrugs and she says, I've had worse night shifts. And she like reaches to her left and she brings into camera a big bag of Dunkin' stuff and sets it on the passenger seat, and then puts the van into drive.
Nice. Awesome. Well, folks, you got you got all 10 of your mission mission tokens there. So that is probably going to be that might be enough to help you recover afterward. There was also an RP token that was to be had, as I recall, from the various that had to do with someone got assigned a trait. That I think involved something to do with communication, investigation, communicating with.
I think it's like I got like pack grad or something like that, or like
being able to find things quickly. I feel as though you kind of did that when you went in directly to the to the crypt. So we're going to give that extra mission token. So we got that as well. Excellent. Okay. Well, that's InSpectres, folks. Thank you all very much for playing. I very much appreciate it. This is one of my favorite games. It is, as folks can probably tell by now, a lazy GM's dream as far as this goes. So one always has an easy time, but I always enjoy seeing what folks will do as they bounce off of each other, and this was a delight. We're going to go ahead and go around and do our outros, so folks can just say where they can find you and any final thoughts you had about this session, favorite moments, or what have you. And we're going to go in reverse order, so we will start with Greg.
Hi, I'm Gregory Avery Weir. You can find game development that I do, both tabletop and video, at futureproofgames.com. And I've got an actual play podcast of short campaigns where we talk about how the campaign's going during the play at tabletop.garden. And I like a good haunted amusement park. It was good. I liked all of our flawed characters.
They're such good characters. I loved them. So good, so good. Awesome, and now let us head over to Sprinkle.
Yeah, my Sprinkle Theory. You can find me at Twitter. I play some different games. I'm pretty new to tabletop. I've always been interested. I've been studying it more and watching more and playing in more things. Probably my favorite thing was I love how we were at the beach, and when we had originally said we were going to the beach, I thought we'd be working in like the beach, and so that's funny that it was like a beach amusement park. So that was great. But no, I think I also loved everyone's flaws and just how we meshed together. So that was good.
We got so close to the beach. You were almost there.
I know.
So we could see the beach from the zip line,
well,
and then turned around and went back.
Ralphie didn't take me to that zip line that goes toward the beach.
Yeah, right. You were like just a block away, like half a block away.
Just like there. So close, so close,
almost there. Maybe next time. Awesome. Thank you so much, and also very, very pleased to always glad when more people are entering the hobby, and very, 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 very happy to have you. Thank you so much. And now we will head over to Lynn.
Hey, I'm Lynn, Flying Sirs. You can find that on that's basically for Twitter, Twitch, every place else. Catch my art and all the games I'm playing, including next week is the next Tuesday is the finale of Scarlet Citadel. We have a secret creature coming in from the deep dark well of the first level dungeon. I can't wait to see what it is. I'm hoping for a lot of rats, honestly. And for on Sundays, I'm gonna be restarting Chill Gundam Sundays, where I'm gonna be building another kit. It's been a while, but gotta build more stuff. But yeah, this has been so much fun. I love the team. I love how everybody kind of like worked off each other. It was wonderful. I love this game. It's the first time playing this game, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Excellent. Awesome. Very. I loved Evie so much.
It's like I'm like I don't know what direction. Like oh no, Evie's going into the, like.
It's so good.
Evie,
it's
please.
So good. Excellent. Awesome. And now let us head over to Celeste.
What's up, guys? I'm Celeste PLS with way too many underscores on Twitter. I'm Celeste Edward here on Twitch. I don't do a whole lot of streaming of my own, but I show up on other people's channels every once in a while. It was a delight to finally work with Jim and Lynn. I've been big fans for a long time. Sprinkle, for a first-timer, this is fantastic. You're great. I love you. Greg, never had the pleasure, but you're fantastic as well. This is a great time all around. You can catch me this coming Saturday over on Weave the Tale with Fallout 2D20 Trouble on the Turnpike. We're getting close to the end of it. We just had a disturbing revelation last time, and now we have to confront the person who urged us to found the settlement of Lexington as to his true motivations, and it's not going to be a good time because my ghoul biochemist, Dr. Hyde, maybe kind of has some feelings for him, so we love that. And then not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday, you can catch me back over on twitch.tv/MattTeb7 for some more Sunset City. Things are getting dire. We are facing down Gregory Rasputin, and it's wild. So let's see if we can come out of there with Turbine intact, because he's right at the end of his rope, and it's not good. It's not good. Hopefully maybe Isla makes a comeback next week too. But other than that, I don't really have a whole lot going on right now, but I have some projects in the work that I can't really talk about, NDAs and such, but keep it on my Twitter. You will definitely hear some announcements here soon.
Nice. Awesome. And thank you so much for playing. This was a delight. I loved everyone's characters. Very cool. Very cool. It's always fun. It's always fun running this. It always is. So, as for me, who am I? I'm Jim. I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and various other things. So, hopefully, if the universe holds together, tomorrow night, tomorrow's Friday, right? Tomorrow night I'm going to be guesting over on Wandering DM in their Cyberpunk Red game as they kick off their final season, I believe. So I'm going to get to go in and play with them for an episode, and we'll see what happens. Heavens help us. Let's see. On Saturday nights, we have our Invisible Sun game, The Edge of Paradox, that I've been running back here on this channel. They're trying to figure stuff out in this small town. Things have been going wrong. People have been remembering things differently, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. On Tuesday night, we have been running a playtest of Genesis Undone. That is a game that I wrote that's GM-less and uses tarot cards as sort of scene prompts to try to tell the story of the dawn of a civilization as though it were a kind of a Greek tragedy or Shakespearean tragedy. We are robots on Mars in this game, we decided. Things are only spiraling down from here. We've got 1 or 2 acts remaining, and then that'll be it. Before we get, and so that'll be done within the next couple of weeks, hopefully, and then perhaps we'll be getting back to something else that we stopped for a little while very soon. But let's see, and of course on Wednesday nights when we're all available, we have our regular Scum and Villainy game, Untitled Space Game, that's been a lot of fun. Just as we've started out, and we gotta finish this mission that we're on because we had a thing stolen out from under us, and we want to get it back. So hopefully we'll be able to manage that. And so that's what we've got going on. It was awesome being able to. It's been a while since I've done a one-shot on this channel, and I was hankering for it. So thank you, thank you all for being so kind as to allow me to do said thing. I very much appreciate it. Always glad to do this. Always glad to. So when we hit the end card, we're going to go ahead and send a raid over to Milady Saito, where they are playing a game of some kind. I think they're quite possibly playing the Dungeons and the Dragons, something called As Your Kingdom. Figure go over there and say hi. Feel free, if you're so inclined, to hang on and say hi to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you all of a sudden. Farewell.